When driving on major highways. A. Stay alert. B. Keep your eyes moving. C. Be ready to react to road hazards. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. It is important to stay alert on highways and be ready to react to unexpected hazards. To avoid highway hypnosis, you should avoid looking at any one thing for more than a few seconds. A driver entering public traffic from a driveway or private road. A. Has the right of way. B. Should yield to drivers already on the public road. C. May force their way into traffic. D. Can assume that other drivers will change lanes to make room. B. Should yield to drivers already on the public road. If you are entering traffic from a driveway or private road, you should yield to drivers already on the public road. Merge safely into traffic when you are able to do so. Fill in the blank. Greatly increase stopping distances and severity of crashes. A. High speeds. B. Slow speeds. C. Night drives. D. Uphill inclines. A. High speeds. High speeds greatly increase stopping distances and severity of crashes. The faster you drive, the greater the impact or striking power of your vehicle, should you be involved in a collision. A state inspection of your vehicle is required? A. Only if the vehicle is over 10 years old. B. Every year. C. Every 2 years. D. Only when purchasing the vehicle. B. Every year. West Virginia requires a yearly inspection of all vehicles to ensure they are in safe driving condition.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
You are driving at night and another vehicle is approaching from the opposite direction. Your headlights? A. Should be on their high beam setting. B. Should be on their low beam setting. C. Should be off. Use your parking lights. D. May be on either their high or low beam setting. B. Should be on their low beam setting. Do not use your high beam headlights when approaching or following another vehicle at night. Switch to the low beam setting to ensure the safety of everyone on the road. You are approaching a railroad crossing that has no visible gates or flashing lights, but has a standard crossbuck. You should A. Approach all tracks with extreme caution and cross only when you know that there is no train coming. B. Turn your radio down to hear if there may be an approaching train. C. Only continue once cleared to do so by a flagger, if applicable. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. You must approach all railroad crossings with extreme caution and cross only when you know that no train is coming from either direction. If there is a flagger at a crossing, you must obey all of their instructions. You are driving on the roadway and hear a siren behind you. You should A. Stop where you are. B. Pull over to the right and stop. C. Speed up to get out of the way. D. Slow down. B. Pull over to the right and stop. When you hear the siren or see the flashing lights of an emergency vehicle coming from behind your vehicle, you must create a clear path for the emergency vehicle and stop. Reduce your speed and safely pull over to the side of the road. If the emergency vehicle is directly behind your vehicle when you are in heavy traffic, Keep moving slowly until you can get out of its way. When preparing to turn left, drivers should A. Slow down gradually while checking their rearview mirror. B. Move into the left lane. C. Watch for oncoming vehicles and pedestrians. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. As you approach a left turn, signal your intentions 3 to 5 seconds in advance. Continually check your rearview mirror as you gradually slow down. On a multi-lane road, move into the left lane before reaching the intersection where you plan to turn. Yield to traffic and pedestrians and turn when your path is clear. When entering a highway from a driveway or private road, you should A. Yield to the vehicle on your left. B. Yield to the vehicle on your right. C. Yield to all vehicles already on the roadway. D. Turn on your headlights and proceed quickly without yielding. C. Yield to all vehicles already on the roadway. When entering a public highway from an alley, private road, or driveway, you must yield to traffic already on the roadway. Enter traffic when it is safe to do so. The most common color of warning signs is A. Red. B. Yellow. C. Green. D. Blue. B. Yellow. Most warning signs are diamond-shaped and yellow with black markings. These signs warn drivers about unexpected conditions that may not be readily apparent. A stop sign is shaped like a N. A. Rectangle. B. Square. C. Circle. D. Octagon. D. Octagon. An octagonal shape is used only for stop signs. All 8-sided signs tell drivers to come to a complete stop before proceeding. You are involved in an accident and your vehicle is blocking traffic. You should A. Move your vehicle off the traveled portion of the roadway, if possible. B. Not move your vehicle under any circumstances. C. Wait until the police arrive before moving your vehicle. D. None of the above. A. Move your vehicle off the traveled portion of the roadway, if possible. After a minor collision, move your vehicle off the traveled portion of the roadway, if possible. Do not leave the scene of an accident without identifying yourself and rendering assistance. You are driving up a hill and are approaching a heavy truck from the rear. You should know that A. The truck may be traveling at a speed slower than the posted speed limit. B. You may not be able to safely pass the truck. C. You may not be able to legally pass the truck. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Drivers must be aware that large vehicles often travel at a speed slower than the posted speed limit, especially when driving on an incline, and should use caution when approaching a large vehicle from the rear. When on a hill with limited visibility, it is unlawful to pass another vehicle. Drinking alcohol and driving is A. A minor traffic safety problem. B. A serious traffic safety problem. C. Safe if you have only had a few drinks. D. Only dangerous to the driver who drinks. B. A serious traffic safety problem. Driving while impaired or intoxicated is a serious traffic safety problem. Safe driving is not possible when you drink alcohol or take other drugs. Driving under the influence is dangerous both to you and to others on the road. To help prevent crashes, you should A. Communicate with other road users. B. Ignore other drivers on the road. C. Drive only on side streets and back roads. D. Avoid driving during rush hour. A. Communicate with other road users. Crashes often happen because one driver does something that other road users are not expecting. You should communicate with other motorists, bicyclists, and pedestrians by doing things like signaling when slowing down, stopping, or changing direction. Use your emergency signals or horn when appropriate. When driving near heavy trucks, other drivers and highway users must make allowances for A. The increased stopping distance required by large vehicles. B. The decreased stopping distance required by large vehicles. C. The decreased noise of larger vehicles. D. The increased speed of larger vehicles. A. The increased stopping distance required by large vehicles. When driving near heavy trucks, other drivers and highway users must make allowances for the increased stopping distance required by the large vehicles. Drivers of smaller vehicles should remain in locations where they can be seen by the driver of the large vehicle and where their view of traffic is not blocked by the vehicle. What is a potential penalty for a first offense of driving under the influence? A. 3 years in the state penitentiary and a fine of $3,000. B. 3 months in the county jail. C. 2 months in the county jail and a fine of $30. D. 6 months in the county jail and a fine of $1,000. D. 6 months in the county jail and a fine of $1,000. Depending on your age, blood alcohol level, and other factors, a first DUI conviction can be punishable by fines of up to $1,000, a jail term up to 6 months in length, and revocation of your license for up to 45 days. Higher penalties apply to incidents that endanger a child, result in injury, or result in death. To change lanes you should A. Check your mirrors and signal, then change lanes. B. Signal, check your mirrors, check your blind spot in the direction you plan to move, then change lanes. C. Signal, check your mirrors, and change lanes. D. Signal and change lanes. B. Signal, check your mirrors, check your blind spot in the direction you plan to move, then change lanes. Before changing lanes, you should activate your turn signal in the appropriate direction and check your rear view and side mirrors. Look over your shoulder in the direction you plan to move in order to check your blind spot and check the far lane to be sure no one else is trying to enter the same lane as you. Change lanes when you are sure it is safe to do so. The only passengers who are not required by law to wear a seatbelt in a moving vehicle are A. Children in the front seat. B. Passengers in the back seat who are above the age of 18. C. Passengers in any seat who are above the age of 16. D. Passengers in the front seat who are above the age of 18. B. Passengers in the back seat who are above the age of 18. All passengers in a moving vehicle are required by law to be properly fastened into their seat belts, unless the passengers are in the back seat and above the age of 18. It is the driver's responsibility to make sure everyone in the vehicle is using their seat belt. When parking uphill next to a curb, set the parking brake and A. Keep the rear tires against the curb. B. Keep the front tires straight ahead. C. Turn your steering wheel away from the curb. D. Turn your steering wheel toward the curb. C. Turn your steering wheel away from the curb. When parking facing uphill on a street that has a curb, set your parking brake and turn your steering wheel away from the curb. This way, if your vehicle starts to roll, it will roll into the curb. If you are driving so slowly that traffic is backing up behind you, you should A. Decrease your speed. B. Pull off the right side of the road and let traffic pass. C. Not let the other cars pass your vehicle. D. Use your four-way flashers. B. Pull off the right side of the road and let traffic pass. Driving more slowly than the flow of traffic can be hazardous. If you are on a two-lane, two-way road and driving so slowly that traffic is backing up behind you, you are required to pull off the road and let the other vehicles pass. Only drive significantly under the speed limit when conditions require it. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. D. Green, yellow, red. A. Red, yellow, green. On a traffic signal arranged vertically, red is always on top and green on the bottom. When arranged horizontally, red is always on the left and green on the right. What may help drivers conserve gasoline? A. Sitting in their driveways with their cars running. B. Accelerating quickly. C. Slowing down gradually. D. Braking abruptly. C. Slowing down gradually. Every time you have to stop quickly, it takes time and fuel to accelerate and get your vehicle back up to the speed of traffic. Drivers who look far ahead of their vehicles can slow down gradually or change lanes to avoid unnecessary braking, leading to better gas mileage. In general, a driver operating with a level 1 or 2 GDL may not drive unsupervised between the hours of A. 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. B. 11 p.m. and 9 a.m. C. 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. D. 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. A. 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. A new driver operating a vehicle while holding a Level 1 GDL instruction permit may not drive between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. A Level 2 GDL intermediate driver's license holder may not drive between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 p.m. unless they are driving to or from a school or church activity, driving to or from a job, driving in the event of an emergency, or are accompanied by a licensed driver who is age 21 or older. This road sign means A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. B. The road ahead turns sharply left, then right. C. The road ahead curves to the left. D. Construction ahead. A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. This sign indicates that the road ahead will turn sharply to the right and then to the left.